On the 1st of September 2022, IMF staff and the Sri Lankan authorities reached a staff-level agreement to support Sri Lanka's economic policies with a 48-month arrangement under the extended fund facility of about $2.9 billion. Thereafter, the IMF paid a close watch on the multiple changes that need to be made to Sri Lanka's economy during the period that followed. After the staff-level agreement was reached, the key elements of the program are reforms making personal income tax more progressive and broadening the tax base for corporate income tax and VAT. The program aims to reach a primary surplus of 2.3% of GDP by 2025. Introducing cost recovery-based pricing for fuel and electricity to minimize fiscal risks arising from state-owned enterprises. Mitigating the impact of the current economic crisis on the poor and vulnerable by raising social spending and improving the coverage and targeting of social safety net programs. Stronger central bank autonomy that allows pursuing a flexible inflation targeting regime. Rebuilding foreign reserves through restoring a market-determined and flexible exchange rate supported by the comprehensive policy package under the program. Safeguarding financial stability by ensuring a healthy and adequately capitalized banking system and by upgrading financial sector safety nets and regulatory standards with a revised Banking Act. Reducing corruption vulnerabilities through improving fiscal transparency and public financial management, introducing a stronger anti-corruption legal framework and conducting an in-depth governance diagnostic. Reforms related to the aforementioned points were implemented in the recent past, and the Executive Board of the IMF will review the progress Sri Lanka has made in this regard. Xinhua, quoting Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, noted that the country's dollar crisis is over as the International Monetary Fund is set to approve a $2.9 billion bailout package for the country on Monday. The funds that will be made available to Sri Lanka under the extended fund facility will be released in tranches across 4 years following a review made every 6 months. Accordingly, after the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund grants approval, Sri Lanka will first receive $300 million. Can the IMF funds be used for budgetary needs? As per the statement issued by the IMF after the staff-level agreement was reached, there is no mention of using the funds to meet Sri Lanka's budgetary needs. Xinhua, quoting Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, noted that the IMF package will include budgetary support to Sri Lanka's government, which is a new element in IMF lending. Executive Director of Veritay Research Dr. Nishan Dimel told Newsfirst that after the staff-level agreement was reached, the Sri Lankan government has engaged in extensive discussions. He said that following discussions, an agreement was reached with the condition to use a portion of the funds for Sri Lanka's budgetary needs.
The IMF was established to help countries in balance of payments crisis. So it is specifically intended to help countries that fall into trouble in terms of international payments. We do somehow hear through unofficial sources that the IMF had said that given the special circumstances in Sri Lanka, they would consider releasing part of the money for budgetary support. We don't know how much of it or for what exact purpose this money will be used, but I have a feeling that it could be for social safety nets and cash transfers.
State Finance Minister Shehan Singh said that the agreements reached with the IMF will be presented to the Parliament by the President this week.
After approval from the Executive Board of the IMF is given, the President, as the Finance Minister, will table the agreement in Parliament. When the sessions open on the 22nd, the agreement will be tabled. This is not the staff-level agreement, but the final agreement approved by the Executive Board. The President promised to deliver it in Parliament.